Welcome to Recollection Mall. If you were a mall rat like me, or spent your formative years hanging out or being dragged to the mall by your parents or your parental units, then you've come to the right place. Have you ever gone into your childhood, teenage, or current mall and wondered, wasn't there a store or restaurant there? So let's take a trip down memory lane and take a look at that mall's history of yesteryear. Be sure you stick around to the end of this video and see if you can take my mall survey. So leave a comment or a memory of this mall below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks. In October of 1968, construction began on an $8 million, 576,000 square foot mall located on 42 acres in Scottsdale, Arizona. The mall featured a Spanish interior design with murals of Native Americans painted by Mexican artist José María Servin, and a gazebo made in Mexico City as major design features. The towering Los Arcos Mall sign stood as a Scottsdale landmark. The Spanish to English translation of Los Arcos is the arches. On October 20th, 1969, a 156,000 square foot three-story Broadway Southwest opened on the east end of the mall, followed by a 253,000 square foot three-level Sears, which anchored the south end of the mall, as well as a separate 25,000 square foot Sears Auto Center. The cross-shaped, air-conditioned, enclosed Los Arcos Mall opened formally on November 21st, 1969. When the mall formally opened, just 30 of the 70 inline tenants were open for business. If you were there in the 1970s, you may have remembered David's Delicatessen, David's Shoes, Dr. Pet Center, First National Bank, Foot Locker, Foxmore Casual Ladies Wear, Fredericks of Hollywood, GNC, Hobo Joe's Coffee Shop, Kinney Shoes, Lerner Shops, Los Arcos Cinema 2, National Shirt Shops, Orange Julius, Oshman Sporting Goods, Poncho's Mexican Buffet, Rob Roy Restaurants, C's Candy, The Gap, Tom McCann Shoes, Toy Kingdom, Walden Books, Wilson's Camera, or maybe even Zales Jewelers. When it was fully leased, it contained 69 stores and services under its roof, including a basement cinema. The parking area accommodated 3,500 cars. Los Arcos was the first enclosed mall developed by Phoenix-based Westcor Partners. Los Arcos supplemented Papago Plaza, an older shopping center on the southwest corner of Dowell and Scottsdale Road. At the time, Los Arcos was the area's newest mall and quickly became a hangout for high school kids. The first signs of decline came in 1979 when the 1 million square foot Fiesta Mall opened in Mesa with 4 major department stores, including both of the anchor tenants of the Los Arcos Mall. Sales dropped 5% at the mall that year as some customers began shopping at Fiesta. The Los Arcos Mall would expand on just one occasion. The West Corridor Sears entryway was enclosed and configured with 15 smaller store spaces. This project, completed in November of 1979, added 30,000 square feet to the mall's gross leasable area, which now stood at 607,000 square feet. During the 1980s and 1990s, Scottsdale Fashion Square, 3 miles to the north of Los Arcos, went through several expansions and renovations and began to serve as Scottsdale's regional mall. There were several retailers, such as Sam Goody and Express, that had locations at both malls. Retailers increasingly began to open their stores at the Scottsdale Fashion Square. Additionally, growth in Scottsdale had spread northward with several newer and closer shopping options to that area. In 1988, the mall was sold to Equity Properties and Development Company of Chicago, and the new owners immediately planned the mall's first major renovation. They initiated a facelift refurbishment in February of 1989. Conducted in 2 phases, the renovation began with asbestos abatement and the installation of fire sprinklers. The mall's interior was then remodeled with new lighting, skylights, tile flooring, seating areas, and ceilings. Phase 2 consisted of the installation of a food court, which was built in a gutted mall space. This facility, dedicated in November of 1989, included Pizza Hut Express, Taquitos Real, Twin Dragons Chinese, Golden Spoon Yogurt, and a Dairy Queen Treats Center. New inline stores were also brought into the mall, including J. Riggings, Limited Express, Ativo's Min's, and Things Remembered. These new improvements did little to stop the decline of this mall. Other local malls nearby continued to draw customers away from Los Arcos. On July 24, 1992, a Broadway clearance center opened on the 3rd floor of the Los Arcos Broadway store. Federated Stores' acquisition of Broadway stores in August of 1995 did not bode well for the Los Arcos unit. While the majority of the Broadway and Broadway Southwest stores were converted to the standard Macy's operation during 1996, the Los Arcos unit was closed. In May of 1996, Los Arcos Mall was nearly fully leased with only 5 vacant stores. However, the demise of the Broadway created a domino effect of store closings. On February 19, 1999, Sears moved to a former Dillard's at Scottsdale Fashion Square and closed the store for good at the Los Arcos Mall. The final inline stores closed in late 1999. Demolition of the abandoned Broadway building got underway on February 22, 2000. Sears was leveled in May, and Red Robin restaurant at the northwest corner of the mall was left standing along with 2 other banks. By 2002, all of the structures had been razed. Congratulations!
Still here? It's over.
Whoa. When I find you...
Pop quiz, hotshot.
This is only a test.
So if you've gotten this far into the video, thanks. So how many anchor stores closed or changed names at this mall? So if your answer is 2, give yourself a hand. You were paying attention. Thanks for watching. So what are some of your memories of this mall? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Recollection Mall. Add your name to the mall directory. Thanks.